Let's go to the next project that I've got for you real quick. Oh my gosh. We're really way beyond the time that I usually like to get, but I mean, there's no rush. Probably hit on it next week, but I want to touch on this next project real quick. Now, with everything I have said about Terry Akwala, my goodness, um, this next project I want to talk about. This I am heartbroken. Basically, I'm heartbroken. Um, there are very few people who have spoken about King Madi as much as I have in this industry. Very few people, and rightfully so, for very good reasons. By the fact that I cannot count two people better than her vocally in this industry. I cannot count three people better at songwriting in this industry. There isn't any new artist who has come out in the past 2 years that has got the discography, that has got the talent, and that have got the talent that King Madi has. I mean, those are just facts that cannot be disputed. And so, rightfully so, I have spoken about her several times and how incredible of an artist she is for someone who's just, one, coming into the industry, and two, for someone as young as she is, because she's just 19. And like I've said several times, you shouldn't be this good at 19 as a performer, as a singer, as a songwriter. Being this good at 19 is not usually heard of in any country. When you hear people sound this good, it's special. So rightfully so, she has had me really spellbound. And so when I heard this, that she was gonna release an album really soon, I was one of the people who could not wait, salivating for months, right? As to, I cannot wait for it to drop, right? And I think I'm one of the very few who would be honest about people's work, right? Every single time, 10 out of 10. There's nothing in it for me. And so when the album came out, I kind of dove head straight into it. Like, okay, what has she got to offer? She released a couple of songs before the release of the album titled I Am the Blueprint. In fact, I went further than most people would say. I went ahead to say that the title of the album couldn't be more correct. That she is the blueprint of how a new artist should introduce themselves into the industry. She's a blueprint of what it means to break a new artist. The way it has been done meticulously for the past 2-3 years or 2.5 years, whatever the case may be. She is the blueprint for that. In fact, I support that. And when I saw the title of the album, I was like, well, it couldn't be more like nail on the head, right there. She released a couple of songs that were really incredible and kind of like, oh my gosh, I hope, like, if this is what she's gone in for, this is going to be an interesting project. Like, she released 4 songs in anticipation of this album, 13 tracks. And that's where I get to what the album itself was like. Let me take out the 4 songs that were released. The 4 songs we already know. Ali Bomaye, Akanchawa, I think Goosebumps, and Favorite Cycle. Now, my review of this album is taking out these 4 songs the reason why I'm taking them out is because I have listened to these songs over and over again. I cannot tell you how many times. That's where I put her, how much I regard her as an artist and how talented I think she is, right? In fact, I've given suggestions on social media, on Twitter, as to how she could, even before the release of this album, months ago, right? And so I was really anticipating this project. And I have to tell you that I'm heartbroken by the direction this project decided to go. And the reason why it's kind of like I'm feeling more heartbroken than like angry or disappointed is because I know the potential. It's almost like, I don't know, you guys get what I mean. It's like I know what you can do. That it is disappointing and heartbreaking that this is the direction you decide to go. And it's not that they don't know the right direction, because she has been featured on different songs in the past few years, right? She has a song titled with DJ Neptune titled Honest, where she killed it. Right? She has a song with Chloe where, I mean, this is someone from a different culture, but she still held her own. Still staying original, staying true to who she is. Right? She went head to head with one of the most incredible songwriters we've ever seen in the Nigerian music industry, with Benson, and she held her own as well. She wrote one of the best songs from last year. For me, one of the best singles from last year, Problem Choke with 1010. She killed it, staying original. In fact, she went head to head with one of the best R&B singers Nigeria has ever made, that ever come out of Nigeria, Nonso Madi, head to head with Pristin Pablo from Canada, and she made the song memorable. She went head to head with Simi and OG, Joshua Baraka, and she still held her own. So I'm looking at all of this and be like, it is, how possible is it that artist that gave me all of this back to back, next, like just consistently giving me originality, incredible songwriting, boldness, bravery, domination of dominating records, irrespective of whether the person is an OG, irrespective of whether the person is a better singer than she is, irrespective that the person has been in this industry longer, she dominates every record she is in. She's featured in or she's on for the past 2.5 years. She released an EP, right? No, an album. Well, she started an album from last year. 10 songs of incredible music, from American Love to Chargy to Why, I mean, to Sins for You, featuring she featured one of Nigeria's dominant voices artists today, Kiss Daniel, and she didn't feel she wasn't lost in the record. That's how she's able to stand her own, stand with the biggest artists. And so with all of that, I could not in a million years imagine that with that this album, this is what comes after all of that. And it's not like, it's a terrible project. I wouldn't put it in that language, right? I will put it this way. I am disappointed in her, and then I am angry with whoever decided that this is the direction to go next. Because there is no way you cannot give this kind of quality back to back and left to you to release an album after stamping yourself in the mainstream. This is what you do. It's mind-blowing to me that after you have such an incredible project from last year, right? Self-titled King Madi, that you decide this is the direction to go. I don't know how you make that decision, because what makes this album disappointing is not because, for me, the majority of the reasons comes from the direction of the music. That's where the disappointment comes to me. It's not necessarily from like the production or her